Hey guys, it's James here from Rewind Electric and I'm back. Okay, I don't quite remember where we left off yesterday, but I was playing with this flanger and it wasn't sounding great. I was a little bummed out. It had really high output on the effect on setting compared to the bypass, which is probably good in some ways. I mean, it shows that it's strong and it's passing good signal. And the flange just had this nasty, distorted, dirty kind of sounding thing happening. And I really wanted to hear it with this. So I'm going to set this aside for now because we'll come back to that when we get it working. And that's where I was going to go with it. I'm committed to fixing this. It's so clean. It's the cleanest one that I could find. It has the box. It's I got it for a really good price, and yeah, I'm in to make it work. There's not another cleaner one. This is the one I want to work. It's working. The Reticon chip's good. I hear it. It's definitely flanging. All the controls work. It's just got a really high output and a distorted sound. Now, two things occurred to me when I turned off the video and walked away last night, like almost immediately. One is that I opened the video saying these things have notoriously bad caps. I even mentioned, a couple in specific. So, like why was I surprised? That could be it. I also realized that as I was wrapping the video up, I said there were no knobs inside. Meanwhile, I know that we saw one of those Pyre knobs, did a zoom in on it, talked about how it's from Spain, and it said Spain on it. So I don't know what I was thinking. I was a little distracted and a little bummed out, I think. But with a clearer head, let's get back into this. I've got a schematic. I actually found a thread on a forum where another fellow playing with one of these pedals mentioned it having a low-level distortion that wouldn't go away when you rolled down the volume knob. Now, he traced that to one cap in particular off pin 16 of the compander, which I'm pretty sure is this here. It's a 0.47, and there it is. The only other thing that comes off pin 16 of the compander is the switch. This is the wet output. Or input? Whatever. There's nothing else connected but that 0.47 and the switch. So I'm going to explore that. I don't actually have a 0.47 microfarad cap, but I've got handfuls of 25 microfarad electrolytic caps. So and they're all rated for 50 volts. I can put them together. One of the problem that gentleman I mentioned earlier had was that it's a 16 volt cap, and as are most of them in here, if I remember right, and this is running at 15 volts. So I should also say it's running at 15 volts at, does it say on here? It doesn't say on the schematic what the input voltage is. Does it say on the back of the pedal what the input voltage is? We got to remember, this was made in 1970 something, maybe 1980 something. A lot of stuff back then was not made for 120 volts. Or, sometimes we're closer to 125 here. It was made for, 110. So let's do a couple things first. Let's run it at a lower wall voltage, because that's something we can do easily. I rarely do this, but I'm going to have to throw the full voltage right at the Princeton reverb. And there it is. It's on. It hasn't seen that in a long time. I usually crank it up over the course of a couple of seconds to let it come on slow, which is nice because I think it's still got all the original tubes in it. And it's those spikes when you hit the switch that are really harmful to things, more so than the actual running of them, which is why you see light bulbs that have been on for like 100 years at a fire station or something, because they don't turn them off. or, you know, in a barn, they're just on all the time. And it's not that hard for a thing to be on. It's just hard for it to take a hit coming on, changing temperature real fast. Okay. So I think this is a good way to start. Let's just give this a listen at, I don't know, what's a good voltage? Somebody pick a number. Let's go to 100 volts. Let's just start there. Well, I guess I could turn it on as I bring it up slow and gentle. It's doing some stuff. Coming to life, and you can hear it through the amp coming to life in its funny ways. Wow. 96 volts here. That was all at like really low voltage, so some funny business happening. Okay, now we are at 100.1 volts. I'm gonna plug the guitar in because it's kind of hard to tell what it's doing without it. So by shaving about 25 volts off the mains, I'm bringing those caps down below their operating threshold. Now, that doesn't necessarily, it's not a solution. It just might provide a clue. And yeah, it still sounds bad. See, there's bypass. Let's do another thing before we put it all away. Oh man, it doesn't want to go off nice and calmly, does it? I'm taking the power away. I'll do it at switch 2 just to be redundant. Next thing I'd like to do is twiddle that pot. Oh yeah, I'm a pot twiddler. If you watch the channel, you know it. Right as I was stepping out of the office to come in here and do this, I had an offer that I made accepted on an early made in England Marshall Governor pedal, and that's for the upcoming classic vintage overdrive shootouts. That's a pedal that I played when I was in high school, and I've missed it, and I've wanted one. I've looked at it a few times, and now I'm properly motivated to get one with that shootout coming out. But the fella who accepted my offer, I believe his name was Tim, he asked if I had a YouTube channel and said he had subscribed just a couple days ago. So if you're watching, Tim, thank you, sir. I appreciate it, both the deal and the subscription. So I'll be looking forward to showing your pedal here on the channel. Hope you're enjoying this one. Okay, let's get this fired back up. You gotta be careful with a thing like this, because I mean that's mains voltage right there. And I'm holding a grounded guitar. I'm running it through an isolation transformer. It does some funny stuff coming up, doesn't it? I'm at 102.7 volts. I'm just gonna sit there for a minute. I guess we could take a reading and see what it's actually sitting at. Let's see what this does though. Well, that could be the problem, couldn't it? You know what, this end is it's a Phillips tweaker, which is perfect. Oh, it's just a hair too big though. Kind of makes a better fuzz than a flanger, doesn't it? But is it flanging anymore? It's kind of the thing. It doesn't feel like it's flanging. Oh, I hear it. It's flangering a little. So it kind of has to be in that middle range for it to work at all. I'm going to starve the voltage a little more and see what it does. You know what? Oh my gosh. No way. Let me try something. Okay. I had a thought for a moment that these transformers might be worldwide, so there might actually be a tap for a 220 on there, and perhaps it was set up wrong, but it's not. This is 60 volts. I'm running it at 60 volts right now. It's worse. So that is not the problem. All right, let's move on to other things here. Let's shut this down. Hang the guitar up. Okay. Let's drain the cap. Not that I think it's really got much power to hold. And where is that 0.47 cap, by the way? Pin 16 is right there. Is that it? That big guy? Oh, that's a 470. I wouldn't think that was it. Let me confirm. This schematic is kind of hard to read. Hard to say if that's a 47 or a 0.47. So I did actually send myself a link. So I'm going to look at the digital version rather than the printed version for a minute. In the meantime, I have to take this board out to do anything, I think. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. That's not the commander at all. NE571, NE571. Okay, I'm looking over here. So there's the notch. Pin 16 is this last guy down here. Oh, great. It's like in capacitor city over there. All right. Oh, no. It's not going to let me log in. Why not? Okay. Okay, found it. Okay, first of all, let me look at the schematic. See if it's a little bit more clear on the screen what that capacitor is. Now that looks like it says 4.7K. Is that right? No, it's not right. Well, it's the only thing coming off of pin 16. .47. Okay, it's pretty clear. 0.47. Okay, let me look at one other thing. Okay, so what's coming off pin 16 down here? I gotta take the board out. That means I gotta take the knobs off. Which means we're in for a ride. So strap on in and enjoy. Oh, gotta take those jacks off. I remember doing this yesterday and looking to see what kind of jacks these were. I mean, like, oh, they're Switchcraft. Okay. Well, that was super helpful because I went online and I found a lot of 18 of these vintage Switchcraft jacks. I think it cost me about 30 bucks shipped. And they're in all the DOD pedals. So, yay, good thing I looked. Because now, I've got a new old stock Switchcraft 3.5 millimeter to replace this modern doodad. And then I also have the correct type of jack. This has like an open frame type in there, which is not correct. So I can restore the 250 perfectly with new old stock and vintage parts. That's always a nice thing, right? All right. Let's take note of where these wires are because they're going to break off at some point. I think we can agree on that. All right, pin 16. It goes... Oh. Way up here. 4.7 right there, but that's not it. Okay, which one of these caps is a 0.47? Let's do it that way. 4.7, 4.7, 1, 4.7, 10, 4.7, well, that could be a problem If there's a 4.7 on here, it's supposed to be a 0.47. 10, 4.7. Sorry, I'm going off camera. Oh, there's a 47. The black one there is a 47, and is this one also? Oh, these are in close quarters. I don't want to play with these. Come on. What is it, though? Yeah. So those two black ones. Okay. Let's trace it out. What has continuity to pin 16? One thing that's kind of nice about this experiment is, if true, and let's just be straight here. I'm kind of over my head in this. I mean, I think I can do it. If I can't figure it out, I can learn it and then do it. But I haven't learned it. I'm not like real keen on how this thing works, or any flangers. But according to somebody else in that thread who seemed to know what they're talking about, that's what I'm working with here. The circuit should work without that 0.47 at all for testing it. So lifting a leg should do the trick. No continuity from pin 16 to that guy. Okay. Now where's the other one? It is one of these four, I think. 16. All the flux on here, you're kind of uncertain what you're getting. Pin 16. See, shouldn't I have continuity there? I was having the same trouble with that big muff switch, is that I thought I wasn't getting continuity, but it's just covered in crusty flux. So is that... That's not connected. That'd be weird. Piece of foam. Well, what in the heck is it connected to? One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. 8, 16. I have some more sharper kinds of probes I can use if I need to. All right, let's try this. That 0.47 should also have contact to one of the switch terminals. Let's try this. So it should pin 16. I'm reasonably sure I know how to count pins on an IC. but I'm starting to doubt myself. I sure am starting to doubt myself. Let me confirm that, because that might have been 16 and just in the wrong place. Okay. Counting pins on an IC. Oh, you're kidding. It loops around like a U? Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, that's pin 16 there. Okay. So I'm an idiot. I knew that was 1. I just thought it went 1 through 8, 9 through 16, but apparently it goes 1 through 8, 9 through 16 coming up this way. So there's 1, or there's 16. And does it be nice if it was this cap? Because that goes to the switch. Does it go to the cap? I can't tell. I need a different kind of probe. I can do this. Maybe I can just measure it this way. A little Sharpie here. There's 2. And then 16 is actually that guy. That'll come off with rubbing alcohol here. I'm not defacing anything here. Let's just try it this way. 16. Why do you hate me? Okay, so maybe it's not that cap. We can also try the switch lug, which is just a bigger contact. And we'll just say 16, and then none of those. Where's that other black capacitor? It's in that hodgepodge mess over here. So pin 16. Is that it? I think so. Oh gosh, my eye itches. How messed up is that? What a time. Okay. Get these little lock washer you guys out of here. Okay. So let me look at the schematic. So that cap goes from ground to pin 16 to the switch, 0.47. Let me try and take a reading on it. assuming I have the correct pins that I'm looking at. I'm not getting anything here. Maybe it's these. .078 nanofarads. 7.5 nanofarads. I think I gotta just pull it out. Yeah, I knew I was gonna break one of those. Called it. That goes to the switch there. All right. Let's fire up the puck. While I'm doing this, let me heat this up. I wonder what that large filter capacitor is. I read it yesterday, but I don't remember. While I'm playing around in here, if I have one that is appropriate, it would be a good time to put it in. It's a 25 volt 470. Probably do. Let's see. No, I don't. Yeah, I actually do not. Fix this too. Do that last. There goes that one. Better mark that. Prepare that one too. I knew this was going to happen. Old brittle wires. Sure, the rest of them will go too. Okay. There's the brown one. Well, at least now we've got some more room to work with. I think one of those is probably right. Okay, I ran out of space and had to restart the camera, but I'm just, I think I've got this cap unsoldered, plus a couple bonus tabs also unsoldered. There we go. All right, I'm gonna, this came out negative there. And is that correct? So negative not on the pin. Yes. It's a negative not contacting the IC. Okay. Now I'm told that this will work without this cap at all. Let's measure the cap. Now that it's out of the circuit, let's see what it does. Okay. Well, 41 nanofarads. So, I mean, it's pretty close. It's a little low, but if it's a 20% cap to begin with. Let's see. And it is. Then it's in spec, but that doesn't mean anything. It's also a 15 volt cap, so. $16 volt cap, sorry. Do I want to try it without it at all? Yeah, I guess I do. Oh, I better solder those other tabs though. Okay. I took solder off some bonus tabs while getting that cap out just to make sure I wasn't yanking on anything. Okay. Oh, yeah, I gotta put this guy back in. Shoot, gotta fire up the duct. Well, maybe don't. Maybe I can just push it through. Let's see. Let's try and just push it through. I'm just going to force it right through this solidified solder. Oh no, that won't work. I'll have to heat it up. I am going to use the duct. I can tell that there's a little piece jammed in there. I don't want to mess with it. This would be cool if this worked. Although I'm still going to be replacing that cap and the big filter cap. I looked at another spot where I have electrolytics and I do not have that value. Unless I have something vintage, and I'm just not going to do that. It's kind of pointless, isn't it? Okay, just guy was over here. That's the input, right? Yeah. I guess the input was grounded only by the chassis. Now, because I'm feeling pessimistic, maybe because it's getting later, I felt pretty optimistic when I started this. Grabbed a bite to eat while the camera was pulling video off the memory. Because I'm feeling pessimistic, what I anticipate will happen here is that I'm going to turn this on and it will have stopped working entirely. I'll think it's because I took the cap out, but then I'll find out it was not. Shoot, I don't remember which switch terminal got brown and which one got red. I might have to go look at the video. Let's see if the schematic will be of any help. Okay, so one side of the switch is ground. Let's clean the solder off the switch. I didn't fully get it. Follow up with this. Oh, I've turned this off. Well, there's the sad 512D chip. And it is sad right now because its homies are not working. It's working. Okay. Let's see how this switch works. Well, first of all, let's see if this goes to ground. Continuity, please. No. Okay, so this one's common. It should go to ground. Is one of these wires ground? Sure seems like it. Okay. We did say the bottom one was common, right? Yeah. And the brown goes to ground. Boy, I'm tired. I shouldn't be playing with this. Okay. Put Put brown on the bottom, red on the top. I'm about to break the red off from the other side. Well, Siri says it's time to stand. Well, I'm standing. Okay. Probably going to be doing all this again. Because I'm going to have to put that cap in. And that one. Okay. I'm going to just put one of these bolts on so it doesn't fall out and short anything. All right. I think we're ready to test it again. So we're going to do... turn the duck off. Probably put the duck away. I'm going to throw the full volts at the Princeton, which I don't like to do, but we're going to do it. Should probably have its own variac. That would be a smart thing. And then we're going to bring this up slow. Is everything all right? Let's turn it over. We can watch that. I think that's the on position. We're not plugged into the amp right now. Okay, it's not drawing any current. 75 volts, 80 volts, 95. Okay, so maybe that's the off position. Let's try again. 28 volts, 35 volts, 42 volts, 53 volts. 70 volts. Okay, there's the light. We'll do 100. 101. And let's see what happens. We plug into the amp. Hopefully it's not going to do terrible, terrible things. It doesn't sound good, to be honest. I hear some grunginess. Let's see. gets worse, maybe that's a good sign. Maybe just it needs that cap in there. Let's try. Okay. You know, I guess if you're watching and you know more about these than I do, which is probably anybody who knows anything about them, the insides, feel free to chime in with the most obvious things I'm likely overlooking here. All right, I'm going to make a capacitor. So we need a 0.47 microfarads. And I've got some here. Should work. Hey, look at that. I've actually got two of these guys wired together already. And these are Sprags. Are these 100 volts? They're 50 volts. That's totally fine. Sprags. Alright. Don't be vague. Insist on Sprag. That was their marketing. .54 microfarads. The only problem is this thing is like physically excessively large. Even the legs might be too much. We'll see. Insulation. This is kind of silly. Will the legs even fit? Oh man. Yeah. They will. Okay. It's going to look a little funny, but it's going to work. You can see what I'm doing. I'm just bending the legs into position because we got to get them close to that spacing. Just gonna sit above it. It's gonna be kind of funny. Okay, and we'll say about like that. Two of them. Okay, see what I'm doing here. making these two caps into one. Positive is towards the chip. The IC. Not pretty. But should be functional. It won't stay there. It's just for now. Need my glasses. Did I do that right? I don't know if that's supposed to. Did I brood something I shouldn't have? Yes, I did. But I fixed it. All right, let's try and see if the noise is any more or less hideous. Maybe I'll alligator clip in something where that 470 microfarad filter cap is, if the noise is still gnarly. Let's try and see what happens. Okay, let's do it again. Sounds different, like the noise. I'm not going to say it's better though, and it still sounds loud. I thought the loud would be the easy thing to troubleshoot. What? Did I get that? Are you serious? Is that it? Oh. sorry it was out of focus, but do you hear it? It sounds in focus. Like, it's definitely fixed. There's still a volume jump. And the fact that it came on slow when I hit the button might be a clue. Yeah. I think that is a clue. That could be a capacitor. Well, let's make it sound normal. Still a little loud, it's overdriving my amp just a bit, but it's not, it doesn't have that distorted underlying sound in the background that it had before. Alright, let's tweak that trim pot. I think it's set to the correct spot. Basically, if it's sitting here, and if it works to there, and then it goes out, and it works to there, and then it goes out. So it's kind of in the middle of the range of where it works. It's a pretty crude way to set it, but I think it's accurate. But let's mess with it. Then it stops flanging. So yeah, it's right there in the middle of the working range. Look at that. What a silly mess I've made there. You see that? Those good old Spragues are working well, though. Before I button it up and put it away, since we're enjoying ourselves here, I'm running at 100 volts. I'm going to bring it up just to see what happens. Okay, there's 119.7. Like, absolutely nothing's different. Let's put this one up. I really should be getting into this DOD delay and checking its caps too. It's even older than the Flanger. What should we name the Flanger? My son likes to name pedals. Oh, let's call it Ned Flanger. That's a good one. I've got to unplug some thing here. This will work. Okay. And yeah, we'll call it Ned Flanger. And it'll be like, huddly ho. Alright, cords are all integrated with the AC here, but we'll make the best of it, alright? Ooh. Got a little crackle, a little pop in there. This guy's putting out that hot signal. It's kind of overdriving the delay. No, this is backwards where like down is slower. You can hear that clock noise picking up. Kind of filters out around there. I bet there's a way to filter that clock noise in there. I mean, I gotta open it up anyway. Let's open it up. Live AC pedals, opening them up. Live AC pedals, opening them up. Doing dumb stuff. Could be really bad, but gotta mess around. I gotta open it up anyway because I'm gonna take an inventory of the capacitors in this one. And like I said, I knew going into this that these things had notoriously bad capacitors. Never should have been surprised to find out that they had bad capacitors. Okay, that mammer jammer's got to go. Now, what do we have? We got some little twisty trim pots here. Let's mark them. Need a new Sharpie, maybe. Okay, that's straight up and down. I gotta bring that delay time down to clock noise land. Yeah, that'll dial some of that out, won't it? It's right where it wants to be. That one wants to be maxed out, apparently. Is that right? Oh, you smaller one. Right there. Oh, now this thing's still overdriving it. Okay, but I think I can dial it back into sanity now. And get some more. Yeah. Yeah, that's more reasonable. Yeah. All right. Well, look, I think that's enough of a demonstration. We had enough fun tonight. We made some progress. We've learned some things. And both of these are performing better. You know, I walked into it, this thing being kind of toast. I was pretty sure it was a goner last night. But yeah, I knew it wouldn't be too bad. Now, I still don't know what's up with the volume jump. Oh, not substantial. Really? Did this... Hold on. Did we fix that? Did it warm up and come into place, or did it, is just the impedance of the delay a good match for it? Yeah. Yeah, it still has a jump in volume. That's not good. It's funny, though, because if we come over here... Now it's doing it. Weird. Yeah, I think it's just a combination of buffering and impedances, and this is compressing a little bit and just sort of minimizing that, but the difference is still there. Anyway, I'm done. Good night. Bye-bye.